Hello my loves, welcome back to the channel today. It has been a while since I have been on the channel to do a reading. So today I just really wanted to do a quick little reading for the collective for Beltane, today May 1st. This is the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. So in some beliefs, this is, the traditional first day of summer. In other beliefs, it's just celebrating the halfway point between the start of spring and summer. Celebrating how much closer we are to warmth and the large amount of growth that happens during summer. Spring is really, the time where we start to see the growth of flowers and things coming into fruition, but summer is the fruit. Summer is when we see the fruit starting to develop from the things that we are doing. Not just fruit like in plants and things, but fruit of our achievements and developments. So it's just a nice little halfway point to celebrate between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. Let's start with the oracle cards that we pulled here. We started off with the Starfish Spirit, which says open to infinite possibility. So as we move closer to summer, we are moving in towards infinite possibility. There is always infinite options and things available to you at any given time. And opening to it, opening to the idea that, just what we think or what we believe is one of many things that are happening at any given time. If you believe in infinite realities, then you believe that there is an infinite amount of worlds or timelines that might exist on this. Oh my gosh, I have something in my eye. Hold on. Then you might believe that there are many things happening, even in different timelines at different opportunities. There's always different choices that we can make. And infinite possibility means the option for infinite success, infinite lessons, and things that, seem like they might be difficulties but actually turn out to be blessings. So opening up to possibility, opening up and allowing things in that can, bring to fruition different things. We have the Dolphin Spirit, which says this and that are true. So with infinite possibility, multiple things can be true at the same time. This and that are true. It's saying that, we have sometimes a very stagnant viewpoint on the way that things should be or the way that things ought to be. Or thinking that, things have to go a certain way for us to be happy. This and that are true. So while, yes, you may be happy doing these sorts of things, the truth is also that you can also be happy at the same time, too, where you are now. So this and that are true. More than one thing can be true at the same time, especially things can just be so stagnant sometimes. We can get caught up in thinking that things have to be one thing or that, things are only one thing or that things have to go one certain way. And this and that are true. So yes, things can go this way, but with infinite possibility means that the alternative is also true at the same time. So, opening up to more options, opening yourself up to more things, and understanding that they both hold truth, they both hold merit. And then we have the Draft Spirit, which says, see the big picture. Yeah, so don't get caught up in thinking that things have to be one particular way or that things have to be one specific thing in order for you to be happy or successful. A lot of this seems like we are opening ourselves up at this time to a lot of new ideas. Opening ourselves up to, infinite possibility. My cards are a little dusty. I have not been doing readings very much lately. I have been hecka sick. I have been extremely sick. So I'm not sure when I will get back to being able to do readings for each of the zodiac signs. I am doing better than what I was. And see, look, we have the Four of Swords. This is a card of rest. So making sure that you are taking the time to rest. And in my case, I have been taking the time to rest. When things are going the way that when things are not going the way that we would expect them to a lot of times, or when we're feeling really worn down and weary, we're trying to figure out all these different things at different times, we need to take time to rest. We need to take time to heal. If you continually try to push your body, continually try to, especially like, let's talk about this real quick within the tarot community, because a lot of us, I love to watch other tarot readers here on YouTube. And I'm sure a lot of you also watch, more than one reader here on YouTube. And so many readers I see, so many people, put out video after video after video. I mean, tarot readers, especially if you're reading for zodiac signs, you're putting out 12 videos a week if you're doing weekly readings. And on top of that, some readers I see do weekly readings for each sign and monthly readings for each sign and quarterly readings for each sign. And props to them that they have figured out how to, manage themselves in a way where they can do that. But it's not feasible for everybody. And I think a lot of us have to stop that comparison of, and this is in the case of tarot readers, specifically for myself, right? But in lots of other places of our life, this and that are true. We can see that there are people who can manage to do all of these videos every month, and then there are other people, maybe like me or maybe like you, who need a little bit more rest and need to take it a little bit more easy. We don't want to burn ourselves out. The whole point of this world that we're on is not to work ourselves to death. It's to enjoy what we do, to help others and the people around us, and to just live life. And not just living it, day to day, trying to push through everything, not living it, stuck in a job that we don't like. I'm not saying, before I started doing YouTube, I worked every day at a job that drained me completely. I would come home from work and I had no energy to, take care of myself, no energy to think or even, take care of myself, to cook dinner, to clean my house and things like that. It took everything from me to be able to do this job. And, a lot of other people right now, could be dealing with the same thing, dealing with a job that takes everything from you, that has you putting in so much energy. And that's just not how people are meant to live. That's just not how people are meant to live life. And some people find that kind of work fulfilling. Some people want their job to be very involved, and they want to give everything to their job because that's where they find fulfillment and purpose. And that's good for them. But other people, you have to work with what you got. This and that are true with that dolphin spirit. Like, it can be true at the same time that you need to take care of your rest and your health. Especially, we talked about the Four of Swords. Taking the time to actually rest and take care of yourself. And also, understanding that other people may not necessarily need the same thing that you do. It's less about making sure everybody gets the same thing and more about making sure that everybody gets the resources that they need to meet the same level of care, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's move away from the ranting a little bit, and let's talk a little bit about the cards that I pulled here. We mentioned the Four of Swords, which is about deep healing. So, especially during Beltane, this is a time where we are, this is the fire, right? Beltane is often celebrated with big bonfires and things. And the fire is meant to represent, like, the fire within. It's meant to represent the things that motivate us. This point in time between spring and summer is really when we start to see this change. We start to see this momentum. And a lot of people, especially if you deal with like seasonal affective disorder or like SAD, whatever it's called, a lot of people find that, during this time, this is when they feel really motivated to get things done. This is when they feel really energized to be able to start to do stuff. And part of that is because we're getting more sunshine. We're getting more good weather and things to, make it feel good to be outside. And so we find that we can have a little bit of extra motivation, but at the same time, we don't want to burn ourselves out. So make sure that, projects are good, things keeping you busy are good, but make sure that you're also honoring your rest. Don't burn yourself out trying to meet this expectation, especially of other people, or unfair expectations for yourself. We had the draft spirit see the big picture. The big picture is really what you see it as. I mean, the big picture in most cases is like, it's not about, at the end of the day, no one's going to remember what your house looked like, right? No one's going to remember what your landscaping was in, July of 2017, right? No one's going to care in 10 years from now what your house looked like or anything like that. They're going to care about how you felt. You're going to remember how you felt, maybe the things that you did, but it's not going to be so much about the trophy in a way at the end of it. So see the big picture. The big picture is really happiness. The big picture is really the things that are actually important to you: family, fulfillment, life, things like that. Things that fulfill you. And it's not so much about keeping up with the Joneses, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Let's talk about the next card here. We have the Princess of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this one, I kind of used that metaphor of this being about growing and plants and things. And the Princess of Pentacles, when we turn it into the upright, let's take a look. This is a person who is carrying this pentacle, and the pentacle represents a seed. This is someone who is looking for a place to plant this seed. They are on kind of a journey. This can also sometimes represent, things coming in for you. So this could represent someone bringing something to you, bringing you an opportunity for growth, bringing you an opportunity for, this is Pentacles, so oftentimes it's like about money. So this could be someone coming in with like a job offer. But I really see, with this being in the reverse, I really see this as us taking the time to evaluate what is important to us. Where are we putting our effort? Because this is really about investment, right? When you plant a seed, you're investing in the long-term growth and opportunity of a plant. You want to see this plant in the healthiest conditions. So we make sure that when we plant a seed in a garden, when we plant a seed outside, we want to make sure that we're planting it in the proper soil. We want to make sure that we're planting it in, the correct amount of sunlight, somewhere where it will get the correct amount of sunlight. And we want to make sure that we're giving it adequate water, that we're not giving it too much or not enough. So this is really about investment, and this is also about the things that you are giving towards something. And with this being in the reverse, it's really you needing to, or having the opportunity to, evaluate where are you investing your resources? Because pentacles are really resources. It's not so much money. I mean, yes, money, of course, that's a resource, but time is a resource. Your energy is a resource. So where are you putting your resources? Are you spending your time burning yourself out, burning yourself out at a place that doesn't recognize you or care about you for what you put in? Are you spending your money on maybe overspending on a hobby, somewhere that's not actually giving you a money return in the process? Even though it gives you a emotional return, but maybe you're evaluating, how much you're spending on this hobby because you realize it's a little bit uneven. So this is really a good time, and especially, summer. Summer is one of the times where people want to go on vacations, they want to be out with friends. It's a really, really big time for people to end up in places of overspending. So, I'm not saying that you have to be careful of overspending, but I'm saying that, this is a really good time to evaluate where you are spending resources, time, energy, things like that. Let's talk about the next card here, which is the Three of Wands in reverse. So, from the Two of Wands is representative of like a path. It's representative of a choice that we have to make. The Three of Wands is not only the momentum of choice, right? It's us not only making a choice, but taking direction with our choice. But also sometimes it means that we need to find a third option. Oftentimes with the Two of Wands, it seems as though we're stuck between 2 points. But the Three of Wands is really us choosing a path, off the beaten path, really. It's us choosing to make our own path for ourselves, to forge our own way. And this card's in the reverse. So a lot of you may be contemplating, where you can take your own things right now. You may be contemplating your own path, or there may be an option here where you're looking for this third path, this third way. You may find that, you are being told that you have to do things a certain way, and you're finding that it's just not what you want to do. You want to find this third path or this third option for yourself because you really don't feel like either option is meant for you. So you're looking for this third path. You're looking, but you may not necessarily be aware of it. I really feel like, open to infinite possibility, this and that are true. I feel like, both of those two paths may be true. Both of those two paths may be things that, people say are good, but opening to infinite possibility can open you up to seeing that there is a hidden third option available for you. So with that card being in the reverse could indicate that that third path is a little bit hidden right now, but I really feel like it's mostly just that, you're searching for it at this time. You're searching for something else. Your next card here is the Lovers in reverse. So this is pretty interesting to me because a lot of this seems to be about rest. A lot of this reading so far seems to be about rest and trying to find somewhere where you can invest time, energy, resources. But with the Lovers card showing up, a lot of you could be thinking about where you want to put your heart at this time. A lot of you could be evaluating relationships. And with the Lovers, this is not, it is oftentimes about like romantic relationships. So this could very well be partnerships, but this is also sometimes indicating our relationship with our highest self. So you could be, evaluating your relationship with yourself, evaluating your self-talk. I feel like a lot of this, though, is just that you are so separated right now from what is actually fulfilling you, what is actually within your heart. I feel like, you are really burnt out. You're trying to find somewhere else. You're trying to find somewhere that's actually going to recognize you for who you are. With this Lovers card, I feel like a lot of you are searching for your purpose. You're searching for this hidden third path from the Three of Wands to move you towards your purpose. The Lovers card in reverse, towards something that's actually going to take care of you like a partner would, in a way. And, some of you that could be an actual partner, but really what I'm saying is that it's mostly about, being recognized. A lot of us want to work somewhere where, our talents are recognized, where people say, hey, I saw that you picked up on this extra thing and it really helped everybody out. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. People want recognition and encouragement to keep doing the right thing, to keep, giving what they've been giving. And I feel like lately you have been giving a lot, and giving so much to the point that you need to take a break and get some rest, really. Yeah, I just feel like a lot of you right now are examining the way that things are going, examining the paths and choices and options available to you, and just, trying to find something that actually speaks to you, really trying to ignite your purpose, your sense of self, with yourself, really. And the last card to show up here is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this one is kind of interesting to me because this card indicates that there is an imbalance in here somewhere. And we kind of talked about that a little bit. This imbalance of a lot of the examples I've given have been about like work-related stuff. Simply because, you have two Pentacles cards showing up here. But this could be in more than just the, work-related part of your life. This is really about an imbalance happening. So this imbalance could definitely be about work, yes, but this could also be, an imbalance between the energy you're giving towards a partner. I mean, we had the Lover's card, energy towards a partner. Energy towards, we mentioned hobbies. Are you giving so much to your hobbies that you're neglecting other people or things within your life that are important? So there is some sort of imbalance here with this Two of Pentacles being in the reverse. There's an imbalance that's needing to be evaluated. And that evaluation, all of this is dependent on this first card here with that Four of Swords. All of this evaluation needs to happen in a place of rest. So if you can, try to make time to find some silence for yourself. Try to make time to journal, meditate, get in touch with your guides, maybe even do your own tarot card reading for yourself. And really just take time to connect, because this stillness, this rest and recuperation is what you need to recenter yourself so that you can evaluate and figure out, what the heck am I going to do about this? Because, I mean, I can sit here and tell you what it is that's going on, but really it's going to be up to you to figure out what to do about it. It's really going to be up to you to figure out what it is that is really the key takeaway about these things. Yeah, see the big picture. I'm really being drawn to the draft spirit. See the big picture. We have to take time out to rest. We have to take time to, recuperate so that we can see the big picture. Where do you want your life to look? Where do you want your life to be in 5 years from now? Or a year from now? 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever the time period may be, what do you want your life to look like? What is the big picture? What is really important to you? See the big picture. Not just the little bits here and there. Not just one little tiny aspect of your life, such as work or home with your partner. Make sure that you are taking all of these things into account. If you want yourself to be involved in work heavily, then that's going to come at the cost of relationships or hobbies a lot of times. If you want your focus to be on family, then that means that you might often have to sacrifice a career. You can have both. If you want both, then you have to make time for both. And it's going to be a lot longer of a process usually, because you're putting effort into two things simultaneously. So, see the big picture, whatever it is that you want, where you want to go, where you want to end up. And, act accordingly. Figure out what you want to do. Because the big picture is really going to be what helps guide you along the way. If you have the big picture in your mind, you're going to be able to, when these decisions come up or these choices come up about what to do next, you're going to be able to look at this big picture and determine, what choice you need to make along this road that's going to help bring you closer to where you want to be. It's like having a map in a way. If you have a map with your destination on it and you come up to a fork in the road, it's going to be a lot easier to choose which direction to take because you're trying to get to this location, right? So seeing the bigger picture, that big picture is like your map. It's like your guiding light to get you to this location, this thing that you want for yourself. All right. I pulled some cards for each of these. Let's go ahead and talk about it. With the Four of Swords, you have the Emperor in reverse. So yeah, a lot of this is taking a break from trying to control everything. Taking a break from having, total dominion over something. A lot of you, this could be telling me that you are in a position of leadership within your workplace. You could be a CEO, a manager, or just, in charge of a team of people. And even if you're not in a place of leadership, you also may find yourself in a place of leadership, unofficially. You may find that you are, even if you're not a manager, you may be someone that other people look up to. Even outside of the workplace, you could find that you are a leader amongst your friends and family and things. You're someone that people look to for guidance and advice and, to help them figure out what to do for themselves. But, you know, you have to take a break from that sometimes. And this card is even in the reverse. It's saying you need to take a break and step away from, you know, this piece of control. And I think a lot of times too, you know, we want to have this control. We want to be in control of what's going on around us. But really, control is kind of an illusion in a way. It's kind of an illusion because you can't always control everything. There are always going to be unforeseen things that happen or hidden things that happen outside of your control. There's going to be things that happen that you won't have, you know, a plan for or control over, and that's okay. So, the Emperor in reverse, a lot of you are needing to take a break, and that's specifically from trying to control everything. Trying to, you know, make everything happen exactly the way you want it on your specific timeline with no casualties or road bumps along the way. With the Princess of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So yeah, you are looking for somewhere that is going to bring you fulfillment. I mean, the Queen of Cups is not only intuition, but this is also love. This is someone who follows their heart and they know what they want. And right now, you are trying to find a place where this pentacle that you want to plant, this thing that you want to invest your time and effort and energy into, and you know, you need something that's going to help you feel fulfilled emotionally. You're not just looking for something that's going to bring you money. You want something that's going to make you feel good in your heart at the same time. This, to me, really feels like you're searching for your purpose. And so, Queen of Cups in reverse, you know, trying to search for love, trying to search for, you know, your heart, really, trying to search for the thing. And it's so poetic to me that it's a pentacle with a cup, right? Because we talked about the pentacles being seeds. We talked about them being things that we plant. And we need water for life. We need water for life. We can't, you know, even plants that survive in the desert need water at some point. And water is something that we need for life. We need love. We need connection for life on this world. And so, you know, connecting with your heart, your emotions, and you're really just looking for something that's going to nurture that within you. With the Three of Wands in the reverse, you have the Death card in reverse. So yeah, I really feel like this is about ending something. You are trying to move away from something that is going to require an ending. I mean, this, you know, the Three of Wands, you want to move away from something and you want to never come back to it with that Death card in reverse. When you look at this Three of Wands, right, I'm going to flip it to the upright just so you can see it. But there are these, the wands in the picture here are kind of like stepping stones or stepping logs across the water. And it's towards one mountain, one of these two mountains at the top here. And it's, you know, meant to indicate, like we said, taking direction in one specific path. And with that comes the death of the other path, right? Because this card, you know, you're not waffling back and forth between these two places. Once you make a decision, or, excuse me, once you make, let's see if I can, yeah. It's mirrored, so it's like a little bit weird for my brain to process the direction. Yeah, there we go. Okay. But once you make a decision for a specific path, it means that this other path or this other option that you maybe had in mind or considered before is going to die. It's going to be something that is no longer an option moving forward. And even then, you know, along this path, once you make a choice, you can't undo it a lot of times. And so, you know, I think there may be this essence of fear about this ending, or you may be even afraid to move away from this thing because you're afraid of this death happening. But, you know, it's one of those things that, like, sometimes things need to be gone. Sometimes things need to die in order for us to move on. And I think, you know, deciding whether or not something is worth it to you, you know, is, I'm using job and career a lot right now because I just feel like that's, a very big portion of this reading, although this could even be a relationship, like we were saying, trying to find a relationship, staying somewhere where you are not valued, even if it gives you, good benefits or something. Is it really worth it to stay somewhere unfulfilled that doesn't recognize who you are and maybe gives you a good paycheck, but like, is it worth it to stay there versus moving somewhere else and opening yourself up so that you can actually go somewhere that checks all the boxes for you, that fulfills you, that actually recognizes you and cares about you? Okay, with the Lovers card in reverse, you have the Seven of Swords. Ooh, so this is like, so definitely for some of you, if this is about a relationship, the Seven of Swords tells me that this relationship or, situation that you're moving away from could very well have been one that involved a lot of lying, a lot of sneaking behind your back. And, moving away from that, you deserve so much more than a partner that doesn't care about you. And they show that by their actions. A partner that cares about you would never go behind your back. A partner that cares about you would never lie to you. They would tell you the truth and, deal with the consequences accordingly. And so, it's extra, this piece of like, where do you want to be? Because right now, if you stay on that path with that person, you're choosing that to a certain degree, right? And even if it's scary to move away, maybe this person has been someone that you've been with that, it's all you've ever known. But you need to open yourself up because, you don't want to stay somewhere that doesn't value you. It's easier sometimes because we're scared of change. It feels easier, but is it really easier? Actually, it's a lot harder to stay somewhere where we're not fulfilled or where we're not recognized and loved for who we are. I think, we have that Lovers card showing up in the reverse, and I think truthfully that in order for this love or this fulfillment to come into the upright for you, in order for you to get to this place of love, you have to move away from this distrust. You have to move away from, people that would lie to you or people that would go behind your back, because people that do that are never going to be someone who recognizes you. They're showing you with their actions by lying and going behind your back that they do not care about you, that they do not see you as an equal. Because when you look at these flamingos, they're the same level. They're directly mirroring each other. They're not one above the other. One's not bigger or smaller. They're directly mirrored. And it's meant to represent, seeing the truth of another person for exactly what it is. Seeing yourselves as equals, meeting each other as equals. And someone who cares about you as an equal is not going to lie to you. They're not going to go behind your back. So really, if this whole reading for you has been about, love and taking a break and, dealing with heartache and things like that, you're not going to find what you're looking for from where you currently are if this person is lying to you. Now, also, too, outside of, relationship stuff, right? Because, like I said, the Lovers card is about more than just, a romantic partnership. It's also about how we see ourselves and how we see our connection with our highest self, right? If you have been dealing with, low self-esteem, which is, very common. A lot of people struggle with self-esteem. A lot of people struggle with talking to themselves kindly. The Seven of Swords, this person is carrying and holding on to all these swords. Swords are sharp. Swords are deadly. They're things that hurt, right? So you can carry and hold on to all of these hurtful things. I almost feel like you're holding on to these things because it's just what you're used to. And it feels almost safer in a way to stay with what you know. But it's not doing you any good to hold on to these beliefs about not being good enough, or to continue to perpetuate this idea that you are, not good in some way. And so some of you, this is really saying that, you need to evaluate your self-talk, because how are you talking about yourself? How are you thinking? Swords are also thinking. And right now, holding on to all of these painful things, there's no point to keep holding on, keep looking back into the past, and really holding on to this pain, holding on to, these things that you're saying about yourself aren't doing you any good. It's actually blocking you from what you want, which is this in the upright. So a lot of you, this break, taking this time is going to be about, evaluating your self-talk, evaluating, why do I continue to carry on with treating myself this way? Why do I continue to talk about myself this way? I would never, sometimes we are our own worst critic, and it's easier to talk bad about ourselves than to accept a truth a lot of times. You might have to take time to look at yourself like you would from a friend's perspective, right? If someone was talking that way or the bad way, how do I say this? The things that you say to yourself, if someone was saying those things to your best friend, if someone was saying those things to, your beloved sibling or child or, best friend, cousin, whatever, someone that you care about, if someone was saying those things to that person, would you allow it? Would you want to, beat that person up for saying awful things about your friend that you care about? You'd be sitting there telling them, no, that's not true. This person is this way. This person is that way. This person is amazing, They're not XYZ. So, you may have to start trying to look at yourself from this perspective of like a friend. And, let down these swords, these sharp things within your mind that are really, hurting your self-esteem. And with that Two of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Empress card. So actually, let's hold them both up. Now, we move from the 2 to the Empress, which is actually a 3. And so I feel like this is, this idea of balance with the Two of Pentacles. You have so much more power to balance things. You have so much more energy and capabilities than really what you give yourself credit for. Things feel unbalanced, and sometimes it's, this... I'm almost feeling it's like this idea of the burden of success, the burden of abundance in a way. So when we, manifest abundance, when we manifest a big harvest, we end up with this, this burden of having to figure out what to do with all of it. So, some of you might be manifesting, like we said, manifesting a new job. And now you find yourself with this burden of the abundance, and it's unbalanced your life in some way. If you're wanting to manifest this job, you're putting in a lot of your energy towards your job, and it has unbalanced your ability to nurture other aspects of your life. So you need to tap back into that idea of the Empress. You need to tap back into your abundance in other areas and to, adjust accordingly. All right, we're going to pull just some last cards here. This is the Universe Has Your Back, and I just kind of want to leave us off, end with some good messages from the universe to take into this month moving forward. I hope that in the coming weeks I can start to get back onto a regular schedule with these readings and things, but like I said, we'll just see. I'm still working with my doctor on things. I've been in and out of like the ER, urgent care, and just trying to make sure things are okay. So we'll just see how my health is going. I really want to get back into things, but just prioritizing that rest really with that Four of Swords here. Let's take a look at our cards here. Okay. So the first card that we got is Oneness is My True Nature. So yeah, connecting with the oneness of the universe. Oneness is my true nature. Seeing yourself as, not just a single person or a single expression, but really looking at the whole, the big picture about life and really the part that you play in it. The other card here says attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. Oneness is your true nature, and all of these things, attack, pain, fear, judgment, any form of separation are merely calls for help. So if you have been feeling separated from your guides or God or source or the universe, and you've been experiencing all of these negative feelings of fear, judgment, separation, pain, it's calls for help from yourself towards the universe, and getting back in touch with the oneness is really what's going to be kind of acting as like a balm for your heart, really. And then the other card, the last card here says, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So remembering oneness can connect you back with this faith, with your happiness. And your happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. I'm almost sensing like a resistance to this idea. Almost like, I feel like it's kind of like a resentment in a way of like, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. And I feel like some of you, when you heard that, you kind of had this moment of like, rejection of it, or like, resentment about it, because you're like, well, I'm going through all of this pain and, unhappiness and these things going on in my life. And that final card, almost depending on how you are hearing it, can almost come across initially as like a attack, or like someone trying to put the blame back on you, as if your own unhappiness is your fault. Is kind of what I'm feeling. It's almost like that's your thought, is that this person, or the way that this card kind of talked to you just now, was almost feeling like it was like blaming you. And I want to say that that's, attack, pain, fear, judgment are merely calls for help. So like, this idea that this feeling of like being attacked from saying that your happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe, it feels like an attack. It almost feels like someone is saying to you that like, because you don't have enough faith, that's why you're unhappy. And I can see why that would be like an initial feeling to it. I encourage you to open up to receive this differently. Because like, obviously there are moments in our life where like our happiness is, temporarily waned. It almost kind of feels to me like, people expect happiness to be like this ever-present, 100% always there thing. But we go through natural cycles of this within our life. And, there are moments within your life, such as experiencing loss, experiencing pain, experiencing, things happening to you, bad medical diagnoses, things like that, that cause, pain and sadness that, are not your fault, and can kind of put like a damper on your happiness a lot of times too. So, I want to encourage you to not see that card as like an attack, because it's not so much about like trying to blame you. I don't feel like that obviously I don't think that is the intention of this. I almost feel like it's trying to say that I'm kind of reminded of like the Emperor card, right? When we try to control things, or when things happen to us outside of our control, we can sometimes lean more into trying to control, and we can be really unhappy. Like, imagine someone goes to the store, you ask them to get you like apples from the store, right? Imagine you have someone go to the store for you, you ask them for apples, and they come back and they say, I got you apples, and really what they brought you was bananas, right? If they don't know what a banana is, or you didn't ask for a banana, you can get caught up in the idea of, I didn't ask for a banana, I don't want a banana, I want an apple. And instead of like being stuck on like what it is that you don't have, learning to be okay with the acceptance of what you do have. You know, I mean, sometimes things like that can even work out to be better for us in the long run. You know, maybe you unknowingly had some sort of like potassium deficiency and the bananas are more helpful for you than the vitamin C from an apple. You know, so just trust that even in moments of pain or fear, even in moments of discomfort, that, you know, the universe is still working for your highest good. And, you know, sometimes we can have this idea or like this moment where we feel like we're being punished or where we're being hurt in some way, but that's not the intention behind it. I don't know. Weird, weird message, weird way to end the reading, but I hope that that was able to resonate with some of you in some way, you know, in a good way. Thank you for being here. Like I said, I really hope to get back into readings, but, you know, we'll see. I'm taking it slowly as it goes, and we'll just kind of go from there and we'll see how things go. So, thank you for being here today and enjoy your week.